Today we talk about the data augmentation and simulation, especially for plant phenotyping, and we wanted to see together how we can use these tools for generating the data. But before talking about the generating of the data, so the first questions come in my mind is that, okay, so in fact, why we need more data? So as we all know here that we have the algorithm of deep learning, it's everywhere, and we use it for different tasks, classification, segmentation, detection, and so on in our field, so plant phenotyping. But the the problem of these type of algorithms is that for training of them we need lots of data. So in our case it's more even difficult because for the plant phenotyping we have lots of limitation. We have the conditions, it's a seasonal condition or weather condition, and so on. Okay, so what we can do to in reality to have the data to train our database. So on the other hand, we know that for these type of algorithms, having data is one part, having the annotation is another part. So annotation is more important of the data. If we are imagining that, okay, with all the sensors, with all the equipment that we have, we can collect the data. We have big database and so on. Then we go to another side of that. This is the annotation. So for annotation, we need the expert. It's expensive task, and it needs lots of time. Okay, for do the annotation and the perfect annotation. So this is the main part as well. So because when we ask, especially in our field for the plant phenotyping and so on, for plants, so when we ask people, 2 or 3 experts to annotate an image, maybe they give 2 different annotations. So there we have the uncertainty between the annotation and so on. So what we can do to go further and go more than this. So there are 2 main approach to go further. So the first one is called data augmentation. So for the data augmentation, what we do, so we consider that we have a small database, and the small database is already annotated. We do some operation on this data, so in our case images, with some operations, some like rotation, shifting, or zooming, or flipping, and so on, to bring the variety to our database. So when I'm talking about the variety, I'm not talking about the variety of the plant, variety of the same images. Okay, but in that case, we are limited to the data that we already have. For example, in our case, if we have a database that we don't have different variety of the plants inside the database, even with the data augmentation, we don't bring lots of things. Okay, we are a little limited on that part, but still it's work well in most of the case. Okay, so to go further on this part, so we have the possibility of generating of synthetic database. So we call it synthetic data generation. In that case, we are not limited to have existing database or existing annotated database. We can start from zero, okay, by simulating the data. And fortunately, these days, with all the simulation that we have, we can have really realistic plant images and use these plants to train or algorithms and use them to be applied on the real databases. So today in this presentation we focus mostly on the simulations. So we talk about the simulation tools, and then we talk a little about the libraries, the plugins, and the models that we can use for these tools as well. Okay, and why we are using these simulations? The one thing that I wanted to point here is that Um, what is more important than generating of the data is to have the perfect annotation, because as we are the person that generate the data, so we have the perfect annotation, so there is no uncertainty between the expert. So we have the image, we have the perfect annotation, and that's a dream or dreamland for the deep learning databases. Okay, and using the simulation is point also this part that we reduce the uncertainty of the annotation in our database. But when we are talking about the simulation engines, we have two type of the simulation engine. So we have the first type of the simulators that are based on mathematical or biological models. So among them, I can present you some simulators like LStudio or GROIMP. These are the two famous simulators that are based on the L system. So if I just go to a browser, so here is the example of the growing, so it's the gross grammar. So that we write the code on that, and based on that we can generate the plants on different stage of the growth stage, and so on. Okay, there are lots of tutorials for this type of system that's based on the L system, and we can use it. Another type of the simulator that are based on the mathematical and biological model, we can mention the AMAP Stadio, and that also similar to the two other simulators. We have the possibility based on the mathematical or biological models to create the plant. So especially on that, my experience is that on this AMAP Stadio, it's more for designing a tree than the other type of the plants. And for others that I saw or I have experience with them is the Green Lab or MAppleT. That is a specialized simulator for generating of the apple tree. So again, if I back to my browser, so here is the one that is for free. We can download it. So it's specialized on the apple tree. Okay, and with that we can generate the apple tree on different stage with apple or without apple or whatever, and we can use these images to train or deep learning model for different tasks. Okay, so these are mainly the well-known tools that are based on the mathematical or biological models. So what I want to express here is that I have listed some of the tools here that are based on my experience. So we after this presentation, as David also mentioned, so we go and we discuss about the other tools that are not listed here, or if you are working with these tools, you can share your experience, the limitation of them, or the advantages that you have from them. Okay, so as I said, these are the simulator based on the models that we have. But on the other hand, we can go and have the simulator that are based on the game engine. So for the video games, we have the engines. So well-known engine for the video games is the Unity 3D. So for all the task of the virtual reality or generating of the video games that today are really realistic. So this is the very powerful tool or engine or platform that we can use. Another powerful engine or tool that we can use for them is Unreal Engine, especially version 5. It's the one. And today, based on my search, the majority of the video games are using the Unreal Engine. It's quite powerful on video gaming and so on, and generating of the realistic scenarios. In our case, also for plants as well. And the last one less powerful as the two others, but still quite good, is the Blender. So I'm sure that some of you already worked with these. So Blender, it's used for generating of the 3D scene or 3D object. Also, we have some tools that can be imported to the Blender especially for the plants, generating of the plants and so on. So based on the three engines, now I wanted to share with you some libraries or plugins that exist for plants generating of the plants. So the first one is quite known and quite powerful is the speed tree. It's mostly focused on the generating of the trees. So in that we have the possibility to generate some other type of the plants, but it's mainly a structure for generating of the tree. And in that we can easily change the season. We can play with the growth stage easily. We can define the wind, if it's the windy or not. Okay, based on that, we can have the different images, different videos, and so on. So if I wanted to show you the website of that, so here is the website. So you can see you can take the plugin. So it's for free. You can import it to the Unity or Unreal Engine, and you can use it. An example of that here, I just have a short one to show you a short
Producers,
video.
this plugin helps you finish your tracks way faster.
If I get rid of
I'm gonna start with this loop that I made here.
So here as is an example of that, how we can, for example, here is the case of the I think it's apple tree, generating apple tree. How we can generate the apple tree? It's easy on the left side. We design it, and then we can go on depths, and we can go for each side or each branch or each leaf separately to have the different color, different theme, and so on. Okay, it's quite easy to use, and we can use it both in Unity or in Unreal Engine. Both of them exist on both of them, and it's the native plugin. So we don't need to add it to that. So it's already added to both Unity and Unreal. Another well-known platform that we can use on both Unity or Unreal. Also, it has its own platform for the simulators that we can use it. It's called Plant Factory. So the Plant Factory, it gives us access around to around 250, if I'm not wrong. It's for 2024 that they announce it. We have 250 type of the variety of the plants, from the tree to plants to flowers and so on. And similar to others, we can also simulate the wind on that, light, or different position of the camera on that. So if I go on this, so actually this is based on it's the external software, we call it, and the I can say EON software. But the Plant Factory and Plant Catalog, both of them are for plugins for free. Everyone can use it as for free for defining of that. And all these 250 plants are already in the software, and we can import them. For example, here is the short video that I can show from that. Here is the tutorial. I don't go for the whole video, but I just show that. So we have the different floors. So we can choose between them based on the base.
Catalog is a library consisting of over 250 vegetation models.
We have the 250 vegetation model, and based on that, we can
the exported mesh can also
define the plants. We can give the height and so on.
That consist of maturity,
we can change the type of parameters, sparse or not, and so on. Okay, and we give the structure to the plant
within the bound.
It's quite known, and it's quite used, and it's quite realistic as well. in most of the cases. These are the main two platforms or the simulators that are used in this domain. But still, we have other libraries or assist. Usually, assist, what we call assist, is that we have the library that is designed by other people, and they put it on the assist of, for example, the Unity. But you should pay for the license. For example, it's 25 euros or more or whatever, the price of that. One of the among all of the simulator for plant, the farm crop pack, it's quite known to do this. So it go for 5 different fruits. We have tomato, we have the eggplants, we have the poivron, bell pepper, we have chili, and I think we have the bean as well. So here is the view of that. So it costs 14 euros, and it gives us the access to the 7 stage of the growth. So we can play it. So from the beginning of the seedling to the time that it died, the plants. Okay, so we have it for different plants. So we different 9 stage of the plant development for each of them, and here is the view of them. But we can play with this to add it more or less. So if I go, it's a bell pepper, chili, eggplant, French beans, and tomato. These are the in the assist. These are the plants that we can use. Another software or the library that we can use but it's mostly used on Unreal Engine. I saw some video to show that how we can use also this in the Unity as well, but it's called Mega Scan Plants. So what is Mega Scan Plants? In fact, this is the research group that took the detailed scan of the leaves, and then they put it. They made a 3D of them that become really realistic. So here is the website of that. So if I just play the video,
Was to not only build
here
something
is
that looked good,
the leaves that
but
are
also follow the rules of
taken
botany,
by the group,
striking this
and
balance of
they scan
aesthetics
it,
and science for
and
every
also
piece we
the trees and so
the
on.
first wave of tree
And they
efficient
made a
pipeline that
3D model
allows
of
us to
that,
bring you
and they
content
put
fast
it there.
in the
So
birch
when
family
we
that you
generate
ACI,
it, it's
which
quite
covers
realistic, because
and
in fact
because
we
the
are
hornbeam
using
is
the real
same regions
scan of
black
the
alder
leaves of
assets,
plants and so on.
ranging from seedlings all the way up to towering
We
forest
can have it
trees.
from the seedling
European
to the
hornbeam
growth plants
truly
and so
have
on.
for
And it's
scalability
quite
across all
realistic.
materials will help
Okay,
ensure
and
your
we can
project
play
finds the sweet spot
with
for
this
visual,
add it,
which
more
version of the engine
effects
your project
and
uses.
whatever. It's quite well. So of course we are a little limited here, because as it's based on the scans of the leaves. So we are limited a little, but it's for some plants that we need. It's quite well. Another one that it's less powerful compared with the other. So it's more on the putting of the plants on different space with the flower that it grows. So call it cloud gardens. So this is the one that we can add. So it's the free, it's the GitHub repository. You can look at this. This is the code. You can generate it easily if the plant on the floor, on the walls, and so on. That it doesn't generate specifically one specific plant with the variety, but it gives the greenness around that. For example, if you consider of the weeds, or in the environment of the mauvaise herbe, the weeds that is added. So we can use these tools and add the weeds and around the tree or the plants that in the field it exists on reality. Here also another type of this type of plugins that we can use to green or do the vegetation space around or scene, that we can add it. Here we have on Vegetation Studio, we have different variety of the vegetation that we can add to the scene, less powerful than others. So because the aim is not to simulate one type of plant, it's more to have the vegetation all around the scene that we want. The last one in this category that I present is another assist, Globe Plant 3D. So these are the series of the assist that we can use. So you go, for example, based on the species of the trees that you aim to have, you can have the 3D model of that. So if I open this, so here, if it open it, I hope. I close the other windows because sometimes Safari is not good as okay, anyway, so we will wait till open. So here in this photo, for example, we have the different type of the trees on different stage of the growth and in different seasons as well. So they already generate the model, so we can buy one or two to assist. In my opinion, it's a little expensive because with the Plant Factory and others, so we can also generate by ourselves. But anyway, so this is the generated trees with different species. So it has lots of species on that. So I don't know why it's not doesn't open, but you can have it and then you can import it to the Unity. On that, there are also other assists. There are also other software that are used here, but less known or less perform compared with others. That we can use like Meta Flora, more for the flowers. Flowers that we can use it. Unreal Foliage tools. So these are the tools for generating of the synthetic data. It's quite good and powerful. And Xfrog plants, it's external software that we can import them in the Unity and so on. It also give us a very good 3D simulation of the plants in our case. It's quite also well known. Xfrog plants. But it has a license if I'm not wrong, and others that are maybe are not listed here, but you already maybe worked with that. Don't hesitate to share with us if there are the list that are not if there are the tools that are not listed here. At the end, if I wanted to just make a conclusion of what I talked, so here I just listed the tools that I talked about this, some pros and cons of that. So for example, for the AMAP Studio, so it's quite accurate for the plan architecture, but it's not really visually really rich to use it for really training of the model and so on. And it's quite difficult. It's not user friendly and so on. For LStudio growing or as well. So we have the old user interface, and it's not easy to work with them compared with the Unity and so on. I mean, it's more based on the code because they are working on the mathematical models and so on. So because they are L system model. So for example, Xfrog plan. So we have the good growth animation, the botanical realism, but as I said, it has a license, so it's a little expensive. And compared with the other tools like the Plant Factory and so on, it has less functional simulation. For Plant Factory, SP3 and Metafloor, these are the three known for different purposes. So quite good. Plant Factory, so it's commercial and so on. SP3, but actually commercial on the whole package. But if you just wanted to use the plant catalog or Plant Factory, the version of that, so since the 2023 it's become free. We can use it. But if you wanted to have the service that on soft company do the work for us, so they are the commercial and they ask for the money. For the speed tree, this is also well known, or Metafloor and Vegetation Studio Pro. They said it's good for the have the vegetation anywhere, but it doesn't support the logic of the plants. Okay, we usually use it in the way of generating of the weeds or mauvaises herbes in our seeds. So these are the known libraries, plugins that I based on my experience, I saw them. And at the end, I just wanted to thank you for the presentation.